The Bears aren't the only Chicago team on a hot streak. The DePaul Blue Demons are off to their best start in a season in more than 3 decades, with wins over major programs like Texas Tech, Iowa, and Minnesota. A big reason for the team's success is their head coach, Dave Leitao. He's here tonight with us to keep it 100. Coach, thanks so much for being with us. I know it's a busy couple days for you, so we appreciate you taking the time.
Oh, thank you very much. Honored to be here. Honored to be here. Thank you for having me.
So we're going to have you talk a little football, but let's start with a little basketball because we got to talk about your team, 9-1. I just mentioned the hot start. So what would you say the key is to this hot start that you guys are on?
Well, 2 reasons come to mind, Shay, and that one is great chemistry early on, and we're still building it, but I think they get along, they like each other, and they can share each other, which is most important. And then secondly, we've bought into playing basketball on the defensive end at a pretty high level. So that keeps us in games, allows us to get stops, get steals, get rebounds, and then transition and play offense with a lot of freedom. So I think those 2 things more than anything have gotten us to where we're at right now.
They look great. Congratulations. What do you tell young kids like that when they have so much success early on in the season, especially when you want to have it, withstand throughout the year?
Good point.
Yeah, hard to get there, harder to stay. And so as we have got off to a hard start, I told the team today, it doesn't mean that you've accomplished anything other than to have people say you're doing a good job. But, there's such a long road ahead, and you can stumble and you can fall and you can do, but those things are going to happen. You've got to stay the course. You got to take it day by day, but it's only the beginning of what is a long, elongated process to get to the end of the road.
Well, DePaul, my alma mater, so excited to see you. Yes, exactly. And but the team wasn't like as good as this when I was playing there, I got to say. But like Shay said, the best start in 3 decades. Everyone knows the dominance of DePaul and the basketball program that they had, especially in the 80s. So how do you feel the support has been, too, from the city and Chicago rallying around you guys, seeing how you're off to such a great start?
Yeah, we've talked about it within the DePaul community. I've talked about it in recruiting and across the country that this is a special city. DePaul means so much historically to the basketball community or the sports community in general. So what has happened is that we've shown a flicker of light. As you said, when you were there, it wasn't that way, and we're trying to eradicate a lot of years of bad basketball, to be quite honest. So what has happened is that by virtue of winning and winning a lot early, we've awakened a lot of people that were and are DePaul fans or just sports fans in general, and everybody loves a winner, in this town and a lot of towns. And so it's really been euphoric, to be quite honest with you, to walk around the city, to kind of get congratulatory messages, those kind of things as to what you're doing. And for me, it's only, what's yet to come, because there's more on the horizon that would bring more and more fans to DePaul.
So, Coach, I know you like to talk hoops, but let's transition to football. Who is your favorite Chicago Bear to watch?
Khalil Mack. By far, yes. And again, I'm old school, so I'm defensive-minded. I think in baseball, basketball, and especially in football, you have to have a really good defensive team. I'm a lifelong Lawrence Taylor fan, and so Khalil Mack reminds me of him because he's got freedom of movement. He can't be blocked, especially by one person. He gets to the quarterback. He's at the line of scrimmage to take on whatever comes, and then he can, step back in pass coverage as well. And so I just love watching. He's a former basketball player too.
Yeah, there we go.
Look at you dropping the knowledge on the floor.
Back in the day, right?
I like it. So Bears play the Packers on Sunday.
Yes.
I know you're dialed into your team, obviously, in college hoops, but let's just quick preview what you think's going to happen.
It's the time of year we start thinking about playoffs, and not that they haven't been. And so understanding that you're playing an elite level quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. So whatever your pass protection coverages are, it has to be sound. You've got to, crowd him, and he's really good on the run at pinpointing his passes, so you got to make sure that you keep him in the pocket as best you can. And then, your defensive backfield, in my opinion, has to have a great game because he can find guys where other quarterbacks can't. So I think defensively, this is where I live. That's how it starts. And then, timely offense. And I think Trubisky has come around last couple of weeks to show the potential that everybody know he's had. And, to combine that with Montgomery running the football, which would give him a little bit more versatility, and hopefully that'll be a great formula for him.
Knows his stuff. Knows his stuff.
Like this. He's still going.
Got the whole
football too. Let's go.
So you grew up a Giants fan, though.
Yes,
Giants not having the best season.
No, rebuilding.
Okay, is that what we're calling it? We're rebuilding. Okay, so how can the Giants turn things around here?
Again, it starts with what we don't talk about with every great team is offensive line, defensive line, right? So they've got to build from within. So once they get, and when the Giants were really, really good, it's because they rushed the passer, whether it was Taylor, Strahan, all those kind of, those guys that really did a great job. So that's how you have to build it. Again, you got to have an elite level quarterback. So we'll see over the next couple of years if Jones fits that mode. You've got a running back in Barkley that is as good as anybody. So he's an outpitch, but can't win with just a running back. Right. So you've got to fortify your skill positions and get receivers that are reliable. But it's going to start with that offensive and defensive line.
Luckily, you got some draft picks on the way.
That's true.
Lots of them, Michael.
I know you got a game tomorrow against UIC, so good luck to your Blue Demons.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for being with us.
I appreciate you having me.
Yeah,
Thank
Chicago's happy to have you in this city. All right, we got more Bears Unleashed coming up after the break. The Blitz is next. You don't want to miss it.